News about Nancy Barasa's resignation hit the airwaves on Thursday afternoon. But it was only until yesterday that the Judicial Service Commission formally received her resignation letter. With her resignation, the position of Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court fell vacant, and the Judicial Service Commission is set to put in motion the process of replacing her next week. Generally, however, the Commission is expected to advertise the position as being vacant, invite applications, conduct interviews, and then forward the names to Parliament for approval before the President finally appoints the country's next Deputy Chief Justice.
The only problem that is there is that the life of the 10th Parliament is coming to a close. By 15th of January, Parliament will be dissolved by operation of the law. So it is therefore something that must be fast-tracked to ensure that by the time Parliament comes back on 20th of November, we already have started the process so that the names can come to Parliament for approval, hopefully by end of November or beginning of December.
The whole process must end before the coming general election, according to the minister. He says the country cannot go into the elections with a limping Supreme Court as it is now.
It is important for the country to go into an election with a fully constituted bench of the Supreme Court, and that includes the Deputy Chief Justice, because it is a court that will be handling the sensitive matter of elections, presidential elections.
To qualify for the position of Deputy Chief Justice, the Constitution requires one to have at least 15 years' experience as a Superior Court judge or at least 15 years' experience as a distinguished academic, judicial officer, legal practitioner or such experience in other relevant legal field. Barasa's resignation has left the Supreme Court with one woman. With the constitutional requirements that all appointive and elective positions in public offices should comprise members drawn from at least 1/3 of either gender, perhaps equally qualified men are better advised not to bother applying. The Supreme Court is only going to open its doors to a female candidate. Perhaps the only woman currently serving at the Superior Court, Njoki Ndungu, may take up the job if she is interested because she has the required qualifications. That will, however, still call for another female candidate to join her at the male-dominated bench. Either way, an array of women had expressed interest in the job during the initial interviews for the Deputy Chief Justice. Justice Martha Koome, currently an appeal court judge, came second to Barasa then, followed by Justice Hannah Okwengu, also an appellate judge. Gladys Bosch-Sholei, who is currently the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, was also among those who were eyeing the second most powerful job at the Judiciary, alongside High Court Judges Mary Angawa and Mary Kasango and Court of Appeal Judge Roslyn Nambuye, who is expected to undergo fresh vetting after initially being declared unsuitable to serve in the Judiciary by the Judges and Magistrates Vetting Board. It will, however, be interesting to see whether the Judicial Service Commission will seek to recruit Barasa's replacement from outside the judiciary. And ever since Barasa was suspended, one name that has been floated is that of human rights lawyer Betty Murungi.
Supreme Court.
The appointment is also expected to take into consideration regional diversity. Sylvia Chebet, Citizen Weekend.